Sausage McMuffin with egg, sausage McMuffin with egg. Egg McMuffin, egg McMuffin. Two for $5, two for $5. Wake up, it's time for breakfast at McDonald's. Mix and match your favorite breakfast sandwiches right now for just $5. Get 2 savory sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches, or 2 classic egg McMuffin sandwiches, or 1 of each. Dreams do come true. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Limited time only. Single item at regular price.
Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome, everybody, to Somewhere in Vegas here on blogtalkradio.com and now on Spreaker.com. I am Mark the Q. I'm your host. I am very privileged to have a very successful and a very breakthrough model. She has had quite the life. She's a plus-size model. She's doing some really great stuff with her new blog. She's out there doing the runway and really kind of focusing out on that body image as well. Model Ayesha Perry-Iqbal is on with us right now. How you doing, Ayesha?
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me on the show.
No problem at all. I mean, it's great to be able to read some of the biography and all that as well. I mean, it's just an amazing kind of story. Tell me, first of all, I mean, a little bit about how this all came about. I mean, are you originally from Pakistan, or were you born in the UK?
I was born in Wales in the UK. I moved to LA 7 years ago to do acting. And, when I was in drama school, I was under a lot of pressure to lose weight. And when you dance and stuff, they want you to be super skinny. And I realized that I was suffering from body dysmorphia and I was kind of malnourished. So when I actually got to a healthy place with my body and my mind, I realized, well, I'm actually supposed to be quite curvy. And then my friends were like, you should start modeling. And I'm like, really? I didn't realize that they even had girls that were curvy that were modeling. And then they just took my digitals and bang, I've been modeling for the past 2 years and been having loads of opportunity to help other women love themselves.
And I mean, is there still interest in you doing any acting or anything like that? Is that something that's still in the back of your mind?
Yeah, I definitely do want to go back into acting, but I really feel like I'm making a change for women with what I'm doing right now, and I think the acting will come at some point. But at the moment, I'm focusing on helping women in whatever way I can and promoting a body image.
Yeah, I mean, things are changing out in Hollywood. I'm pretty sure you're seeing that as well. I mean, body image being one of them. The idea, I mean, just to have different ethnic groups, be represented in TV as well, television and movies as well. I mean, I won't be surprised if the next couple of years we may see you on either the small or the big screen. So it'd be really interesting to be able to see if that ends up being the case. But you're doing so great of a job right now talking about body image as well. I mean, it's a big issue nowadays. There's always that kind of for the past decade or so. I mean, it's been a lot of pressure to be a certain size or a certain look or something like that. And nowadays, we're getting to that point where, guys like yourself are really kind of proving that, beauty doesn't have one standard. And that's kind of interesting kind of a situation. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about your kind of thoughts on that?
I really think that the fashion industry is pushing the boundaries with ethnic diversity and body diversity. But I do think the entertainment industry is a little bit behind. I do think that they are now starting to use bigger girls in roles in the entertainment industry, but they always seem to talk about their weight. Why can't they just have girls that are curvy playing regular roles? Because we're still regular women that deal with the same issues as a woman that's very slim. So I think they still need to open the bracket with that, and I think that's down to the writers and the producers and the networks actually giving more opportunity for girls of all different body shapes and sizes. And then in the fashion industry, I feel like they are starting to do that, but it's only plus size or regular size. There's no in between. And the average size for a woman is a 14 to 16. and they're kind of representing women now, but as far as high fashion, you just don't really see it. They're starting to do it in some of the runway shows, but other than that, the high fashion industry doesn't accept us whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you look at your average American, and they're not going to look like a supermodel. They're not going to look like a size 6. They're going to be, more towards your end of things. And, I think that's, and then there's just a kind of unrealistic thing about wanting to be that size, and all that as well. I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of crazy just to think about it, and it's great to have some kind of representation on that as well. I mean, how is it over in the UK?
Well, I mean,
is it a very similar situation?
Yeah, they're starting to embrace it more now here, especially ethnic diversity. I feel when I was growing up here in the UK, all you would see is very slim, blonde hair, blue eyes, very pale skinned girls all over magazines, TV shows, and I just felt completely alienated because I had absolutely no one to relate to. I was looking at people like Beyonce and J-Lo as people to relate to, and they're not even the same ethnic background as me, so I just felt completely alienated. But now coming back to the UK and working, I'm seeing that, oh wow, I'm walking in the underground and on the big billboards down there, they've got girls that are curvy, girls of all different ethnic backgrounds, and it's so nice to see that young girls can actually look up to women that they look like and be like, oh, like I can love myself too. I don't have to be very skinny or dye my hair blonde or not be happy with my ethnicity just because that's what is supposedly beautiful in the magazines. So I do think there's a change in the UK.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, in the Pakistani community itself, I mean, there's always been a solid Pakistani community there for quite a long time. I mean, how is it for you to be a kind of, forward in terms of, some of the Pakistani girls that are out there, and kind of being there for them, and just the fact that has the Pakistani population in the UK, have they kind of progressed since probably some of the older generation?
Yeah, I mean, well, in the US, I'm the only Pakistani plus model that's signed in the United States. So that just goes to show you how unrepresented we are in the US. But in the UK, I think there might be 3 of us, and I think the other 2 girls are Indian, and I must be the only Pakistani girl here. And I think that just goes down to in the Western side of fashion, they aren't really that represented. I feel like companies don't want to use us that much. It's kind of like a step outside of the box to use a girl that's Pakistani. It seems very weird to me, but obviously if I went over to India and was in the Bollywood scene, then I would be one of many women. But I do think there are a lot of us here in the UK, and there are a lot of them in the US also. And I'm just using my platform to try and represent those girls and give them someone that they can look at and be like, oh, I look like her. I can wear this. I look like her. My body looks like her. I don't have to be ashamed.
I mean, what's it been for you to work with some of these companies? I mean, just to see the companies that you've worked for, quite a few big name brands out there that are that you're working for. Just to have them have the ability to say, yes, we want somebody like you on our ad campaigns. I mean, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. I'm really grateful for all the amazing companies that are out there in the US and in the UK pushing the boundaries in the industry, being all inclusive with sizing and not just up to maybe like a size 12. It's nice to see companies, actually even in their campaigns mixing straight size models and plus size girls and putting them together as one and it not being separated like Savage Fenty, for example, which is Rihanna's lingerie line. I have nothing but respect for her and what she's doing in the industry. She doesn't segregate girls at all. I went to see her runway show, her first one at New York Fashion Week in September. She had all different types of girls on the runway, different shapes, different sizes, different heights, different ethnicities. She even had a pregnant girl on the runway. Like it felt like so inclusive, and every girl was represented. And I totally support brands that do that. Honestly, I find it kind of backward and slow if you're not really doing it now, because you're kind of behind, really, because these companies who are doing it, they're right in the forefront, and they're changing the industry, and they're making a lot of change for women. So those are the companies that I support, and I'm so grateful to be a part of some of their campaigns and to be able to work for them.
Yeah, it's just really interesting to see that the companies are definitely changing their minds about certain things as well. And just before thinking, Rihanna, obviously a very forward thinker in terms of that as well. So it's just great, amazing to see that it's just kind of change that's going on as well. What's been the fun experiences about doing this? Obviously, as you said, New York Fashion Week, that's a big, huge week. Have you been to the Paris Fashion Week, the Milan Fashion Week? Where are some of the places that you've gone to model, or even just to take a look and bring in the scenery?
I haven't actually been to Paris Fashion Week or Milan Fashion Week. I feel like Europe has a problem with representing girls that are curvier. The only girl that I have really seen actually getting a chance to walk is Ashley Graham. And that's kind of known. The statistics show that the US is way more forward as far as using curvy girls in fashion weeks. And I think Europe needs to step it up. I think obviously London is pushing it, but as far as Milan and Paris, they're quite behind in their mind frame. So it seems kind of pointless for me to go over there at the moment and support something that I don't really agree with. So yeah, that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on those fashion weeks.
I really hope that they change their minds on that. Obviously New York's starting to show that, that's something to do and all that as well. I hopefully, like I said, they kind of follow suit, and then see how much progression we have out here in the United States. So I hope that happens with there as well. I believe you have a blog out there too. You're obviously talking about your experiences as well, and how have you been getting a lot of feedback from people about it?
Generally, people are really supportive with the whole body positive movement, but I do think it's with anything. It gets oversaturated, I think, and in some cases, I think that girls, yes, I do believe that you should love your body just the way it is, but I also believe that you should be happy and healthy, and you should put the right foods in your body, and you should exercise. And it's got, as it got with the whole skinny movement in fashion, it got to the extreme where there were girls who were anorexic, and they were putting those girls on the runway. It's kind of becoming the same way with the body positive movement, where there are girls that I feel are pushing the boundaries with their weight, and they're kind of promoting obesity in some capacity and not really promoting a healthy lifestyle. And I think that's really the only problem that I see with this movement. So I just try and show my followers and people that kind of give me feedback that you should put the right foods in your body. Yes, you can have like chocolate and crisps and ice cream or whatever, but it's all in moderation, and you should work out because it's good for your mind and your body and your soul. And I think that is really being body positive. If you love yourself enough, you will work out, you will put the right foods in your body, and you'll do what's best for your body, and that is loving yourself at whatever size that you are.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance. Obviously, you don't want to look. You don't want to have a goal that's just, kind of almost unachievable, but yet you do want to be healthy and all that as well. So it's just, something that you're going to have to kind of go through as well.
Yeah.
Give me one second.
Generally the
it's going to be a little bit noisy for a second.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay. I'm kind of multitasking here. I apologize.